Hello everyone and welcome. In today's video I'm going to plot the hero's journey or story circle of one of the oldest and iconic characters in Dungeons & Dragons, Fraz-Urb'luu, Prince of Deception and Demon Lord of Illusions. Now I decided to focus on Fraz-Urb'luu because of my Tasha video, as I think his lore is just as interesting. Fraz-Urb'luu, like Tasha, is also an important part of Dungeons & Dragons history. Because Fraz-Urb'luu is an ancient demon lord, the cult that worships him is also very ancient. Moreover, because Fraz-Urb'luu is a literal Prince of Deception, a lot of his cult followers aren't even aware they are worshipping him. Instead, they think he's some other deity or fiend. His cult recruits their members by trickery. For example, they pretend to worship a good deity, but all the while they're associating themselves with Fraz-Urb'luu. Very sneaky, but deception and trickery can only get someone so far, and they are no doubt setting themselves up for a very big fall. I shall get to Fraz-Urb'luu's fall in a while, but to understand how it happened, we need to know what he was like in the beginning, and outline his hero's journey, or story circle, step by step. So we start in a zone of comfort. Fraz-Urb'luu rules over the 176th layer of the Abyss, called Hollowheart. He has shaped it into his liking. It was said some parts rivaled the incredibly beautiful Arvandor and Bytopia. During this time, he was untouchable. Next, he wants something. Fraz-Urb'luu has grown complacent and is recruiting more and more demons to do his bidding. He does this with his ultra-powerful staff, the Jeweled Scepter of Adamantine. The staff controls demon and human minds alike. During this time, he has a son with Vilhara, a witch. Their son is called Tsojcanth, who is quite a big deal in future D&D lore. Cue the Lost Caverns of Tsojcanth adventure. Generally, he's attracting unwanted attention and envy. Other demons want to own or destroy his staff, and there are many failed attempts to steal it. Despite all these threats against him, Fraz-Urb'luu continues seeking power and recruiting more demons. Now he enters an unfamiliar situation. Fraz-Urb'luu's hubris gets the better of him, and he allows himself to be summoned by Zagyg, as he sees it as an opportunity to wreak havoc on the material plane. Now Zagyg has put in a lot of effort leading up to this. He has even consulted with Gratz, or Grazit, to find out Fraz-Urb'luu's true name. Remember, Fraz-Urb'luu has a lot of demon enemies who are after Hollowheart. Moreover, upon his summoning, the egotistical Fraz-Urb'luu doesn't know that Zagyg has the Ichor-lance, given to him by Igwilf, who got it from her connections in the Abyss. Fraz-Urb'luu destroys the Ichor-lance, thinking that Zagyg will be powerless. However, little did he know that breaking the lance was what Zagyg wanted him to do. When the lance was broken, it unleashed a wave of energy that strained Fraz-Urb'luu's power, ultimately leading to his imprisonment. The trickster was beaten at his own game. He is imprisoned in a bas-relief visage, which is a stone carving on a wall. All of this happens under Greyhawk Castle. Next, he adapts to his situation. Fraz-Urb'luu is imprisoned for around 200 years. He has accepted his lot and is biding his time to be freed. He regularly taunts adventurers who visit him with riddles and schemes. But after a while they stop visiting, which makes him a little angry and bored, to say the least. While in prison, he reveals his son's true name to Igwilf. I'm not sure why he does this, but I get the impression it was through interrogation, rather than a friendly chat. While he is in prison, demons descend upon Hollowheart, and it becomes a bit of a free-for-all. His staff is broken into several pieces, and is scattered throughout the multiverse. I will add a quick sidebar here, as in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, a fragment of his staff is actually in her Demonomicon, and when it's retrieved from the pocket plane, this causes the Demonomicon to roll back to the Tome of Zyx. Now we move on to he gets what he wants. So I'll go a little bit off-piste here, as I find the real-world history behind this point in Fraz-Urb'luu's timeline very interesting. The freeing of Fraz-Urb'luu was triggered by two players in Gary Gygax's home campaign. One of them I think was his son, Ernie. They were carrying two Vorpal swords and a Holy Avenger. Anyway, they were ruining his story because they were annihilating everything. When they encountered Fraz-Urb'luu, they unknowingly freed him because they thought he was wrongfully imprisoned or caged by an evil sorcerer. They were tricked, naturally. Realising their mistake a little too late, they used a scroll of gate to call upon the god of Zeus to help them. But lo and behold, he didn't answer their pleas. They rolled very badly. This resulted in them being transported back to the Abyss with Fraz-Urb'luu. Fortunately for them though, Fraz-Urb'luu did take pity and eventually freed them. But the swords were destroyed. So yeah, Fraz-Urb'luu got what he wanted, to be freed and return home to Hollowheart. One could also suggest that Gary Gygax got what he wanted too, which was to destroy those pesky weapons. Now he pays a heavy price. While he was imprisoned, the hollow heart was reduced to endless plains of white sand. The demon lords also dispatched everyone who was loyal to him. So not only has he got to come to terms with losing his home, but also his allies. To rub salt in his wounds, though, he cannot use a staff anymore to rebuild the hollow heart, due to its obliteration. During this time, he swears revenge on humans, as he holds Zagyg and Igwilf responsible for destroying everything he cared about. Next, Fraz-Urb'luu moves into a familiar situation. Over time, Fraz-Urb'luu begins to rebuild the hollow heart, not to its former glory, but he's making good progress. He misses the power he used to wield with the sceptre of adamantine, or his staff. Finally, he has changed. Fraz-Urb'luu has learned not to be so enthusiastic about being summoned. He hugely underestimated how powerful Zagyg was, and this mistake cost him everything. So to prevent this from happening again, he binds himself to a black gem within the abyss, so when he is summoned, his essence is transported to it. This black gem of course stays in the hollow heart, and not where the summoning ritual occurs. This doesn't go to plan in the adventure Out of the Abyss, where all demons are summoned to the Underdark, including Fraz-Urb'luu in his black gem. I think how it works is that his body stays in hollow heart, but his essence or mind goes into the black gem. The black gem is the size of a human fist, but because it contains Fraz-Urb'luu, it corrupts and causes madness to anyone who holds it. If the gem is broken, Fraz-Urb'luu is free, and his essence or mind returns to his body in hollow heart. On the material plane, he cannot escape from the gem. So that rounds up Fraz-Urb'luu's story circle, or plot embryo. Also, what do you think of Fraz-Urb'luu? Has he grown more fearful in his years, or is he plotting something and merely biding his time? He does want revenge, and no doubt wreak havoc on the material plane. I think this old poem or song about Fraz-Urb'luu does a good job of describing who he is and what we can expect of him. He comes in the winter, compassion and trust. He dances in spring, with your love and your lust. He calls in the summer, and serve him you must. He withers in autumn, you save him from dust. Your father, your mother, your lover, your child, his son, his daughter, his minion beguiled. And now that you've offered your life and your soul, he'll drag you to ruin and swallow you all. If you've enjoyed watching this video, I have other story arc videos on Strahd, Vecna and Tasha. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, as it means I can spend more time on my videos. Anyway, that's all for today folks, and I'll see you in the next one.